So, I assume everybody has already seen the Switch video by now, right? It's only been like, what, 2 weeks or so since it came out? If you haven't yet, here's a link to see it. I think I'm gonna have trouble switching from calling it the NX to the Switch. Little switcheroo device here. Which I honestly think looks much better than that thing. What the fuck? This dusty thing. Now don't get me wrong, this looks a lot better than the Wii, despite the dust. This kind of shows you how long it's been since I played this thing. Been a really long time. Let me just set this bad boy over here. The Switch looks very sleek. I think so far they've only revealed one color, black. Now, it'd be really idiotic of them to not have more colors, and fans have already made custom colors and make them look really cool, like The Legend of Zelda, Mario, and a bunch of other really cool colors that Nintendo really should consider making. But I really do like the design of the Switch. It looks very interesting. It looks modern, sleek, it looks great. And I think the gimmick of the Switch is a really good one. This is honestly the best ride they could have taken besides being a traditional console, like the PS4 and Xbox One, which is just more powerful versions, for the most part, of their previous counterparts. So if they're not going to go the regular route, of just more power, better graphics and whatnot, then this is probably the best thing they could have done, because by combining the handheld market and the console market and combining them together, that kind of solves their issues. Solves Nintendo's issues with not having enough games from the console, but having plenty of them in the mobile devices, right? That's the thing. You can just switch from mobile to console at will. However, I have many questions.
I have several questions.
First question. When switching from console mode to mobile mode, does that mean we're going to give up some sort of processing power? Because there's no way in hell that little tablet mode can have just as much power as when it's docked. There's no way. That supposedly has the processing power. So my question is, are we gonna suffer frame rate issues, lower the graphics settings when we switch from console mode to mobile mode? What exactly is gonna happen? Because we really have no idea. We're not gonna know anything until the January conference. Nintendo has already said they're not saying one thing about the Switch until January's Direct. So does that mean some games are best played in console mode only and others in mobile mode as well, but not as much? Are we going to see commercials and little stickers saying best played on console mode? You know, what's going to happen when we switch modes? That's my question. We have no idea. But from earlier rumors and leaks that obviously the base has to have some additional computing power, because there's no way that the mobile mode can be just as powerful as the console mode. No way. Question 2, what will happen to the 3DS? Is it going to be succeeded by this? No more handheld device for Nintendo? That's the question here. And this already has a partial answer. Now, Kimishima, the current president of Nintendo, was asked whether the Switch is a replacement to the 3DS. And he said, and I quote, "We think the 3DS can continue in its own form. So, will there be another Nintendo handheld to succeed the 3DS? Or is this kind of it?" It's really unclear and uncertain and confusing. Because if they do make another handheld console, then what's the point of having this thing have a mode that can switch into mobile mode? What's the point? What the fuck? If you're gonna have two separate consoles at the same time again, a handheld and the Switch, isn't that kind of the same thing as before? It's just that now you can just play the console games on the go with sacrificed graphic capabilities? I mean, that's my question. What will happen to the handheld market? And think about this for a second. Nintendo is gonna tell us more information besides just the trailer that had no games, titles given, just games being shown, sure, like Skyrim Remastered Edition, a basketball game, and an unnamed Mario game, and a few other things like maybe ports of Splatoon and Mario Kart 8. But besides that, we didn't get actual lists or confirms or release dates, nothing. It was just a trailer for the console, so it's really confusing. Nintendo could have used that moment easily to show us what games and some of the new features, but more on that later. But think about this. We hadn't heard anything about the NX for like a year, officially. It didn't show it at E3. They show it now. In October, they showed it. In October, late October, like October 21st, 20th, something around there, I remember. Then they're not going to show us anything until January. 2 months from January's direct. March 2017 is when this NX is coming out. That's insane. So 2 months to really get the ball rolling towards everybody. If you weren't impressed by the trailer now, then you're really going to suffer, Nintendo, if you really don't make it up somehow. Because you have to tell the people that, hey, this is our new console. This is our new step up from what we had before. Up from this. Because this is going to cease production like in a week. They're going to stop making this. Once they stop making this, then you don't have anything. And that's pretty crazy. Think about it. They're ceasing production of their console before their next console is out. That's like if they said, yeah, we're going to stop making the Wii before the Wii U is even out. Who does that? That's like if the Xbox 360 stopped making Xbox 360 consoles before the Xbox One came out. That's never happened before. But that happened probably, obviously, because the Wii U was doing so bad. They were initially expected to sell 100 million units. They only sold like, what, this many. So the fact that they're stopping the previous console for a new console that's yet to be out, it's pretty telling. So how are you going to do it, Nintendo? How are you going to do it? 2 months to really get everybody really hyped up who isn't already hyped up from the trailer you just shown. So that's insane. Reveal the console and then you give us the games right there around the same time. Usually there's like a 9 months difference or something, a huge amount of time. But this is only 2 months. So, and if you count it from when it was first revealed, which was in October, that's 5 months. 5 months instead of like the general 10 months or so. So in 2 months from that, if you missed this, if this thing did not impress you with the reveal, then you're only going to have really till January to catch people's attention. Because that's the deadline. You can't go any further. Question 3. What are the features for the NX? We know nothing. We don't know if it's going to finally have party system where you can party up with your friends, group invite and whatnot. Party chat for once, or chat with your friends just in the general, because there's not been really a Wii U game that's done it well at all. Nintendo needs to get with it when it comes to online features because they're way behind. I mean, the original Xbox had all that stuff. Had a party system, chat, messaging system. It had easy way to connect to your friends. Even the PS2, somewhat. But Nintendo never really, still doesn't even have that. It's going to be 2017, and they have to at least have those online features. Otherwise, I'm not going to buy it. I want to be able to chat with my friends through the console, talk to them, invite them to games, and just join seamlessly, okay? Why does it have to be such a hard process? Remember before we had those, 16-digit friend code just to add your friend? And all this safeguards to protect the children? Come on, we need modern, at least somewhat modern features for our online games. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing. Nobody wants to game on the Wii U version of the game. Let's say it's a multiplayer game, multi-platform. No one's going to want to do it on the Wii U because it's just so hard to get with your friends. It was really hard Mario Kart 8. I couldn't even chat with my friends. I get why I can't chat with a lot of random people, but with my friends, I can't. Smash Brothers, I can't chat with my friends during my fight. Splatoon, I can't chat with my teammates. Random teammates, nope. Can you at least do it with your friends? Nope. You can't. You can't chat with them. There's no way. You'd have to use something like Skype or call them on the phone. And if they don't have a microphone or Skype or a phone, well, everyone has a phone, then you're screwed. What's so hard? What's so hard? Why is it so impossible? I get you're trying to protect the children, but put voice chat behind parental controls or something. And even worse, you have a perfectly good microphone right here. There is a mic. There is a mic. It's right there. And I'll tell you what, this is barely even used. I can't even think of a handful of games that use this properly. Maybe in the lobby, like in Mario Kart 8, you could chat with your friends, sure, only in the lobby, but not in the match. I get now with strangers, but in the lobby, that's it. Smash Brothers, lobby. Splatoon, I don't think you even could at all. I think it's the lobby too. Definitely not in game. All three of those examples, not in game at all. Even if they are friends. Insane. So, Nintendo, get good features. I don't care if I have to pay $5 a month, like Xbox Live. $60 a year, $5 a month, that's easy. You have to do something about that because you're way behind on that. And finally, question 4. What kind of games are you going to get? What kind of third parties? I know they've shown a list here, and they have a list. I'll put it up. They have a list. But where are the games? A list, it's cool, I guess, but we need the actual games. How many exclusives are they going to have? How many good console ports are they going to have? People are going crazy saying, oh, they have Skyrim and special remastered edition, which is good. Shows how powerful it is for the most part, even though some people said the trailer looked laggy when the game was playing it. But regardless of that, some games are going to skip out if it's really weak. Switch has to have a good amount of power in comparison to the Scorpio and PlayStation Neo. If it doesn't, then a lot of developers are not going to develop for it again, and it's going to be the same thing as Wii U. They're not going to develop for it because it's just too underpowered. So we'll see how that works. because there's only so much you can do with mobile and console mode. And to be honest, I'm just mostly going to pay in the console mode because that's what I bought it. It is ultimately a console that can go mobile, but the first and foremost, it is a console. I mean, look at the list. You see all these lists, and it's cool. But here's a game that would have been blown everybody's mind. Because the same day that the reveal for NX came out, Red Dead Redemption 2's trailer came out. It would have been crazy if Red Dead Redemption linked the trailer to their game, and Nintendo linked the trailer to the NX, to the Switch, and they both took you to the same video on the Nintendo page, showing the NX trailer, and then showing Red Dead Redemption being played, Red Dead Redemption 2 being played. That would have blown everybody's minds. Not like that guy. Everybody's minds would have been impressed. That would have been crazy. I mean, it's fine it didn't, but think about that. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out, and a lot of people are going to go berserk for it. It's a system seller, it's a console seller. So, question is it going to be on the Switch? Don't know. What third-party games are we really going to get? Because we've had them before. I don't know why people go so crazy. We've had third-party games on the Wii U before. We had Mass Effect 3, Assassin's Creed 3, and Black Flag, I think, and a few other ports that were like, okay. We had Deus Ex, Human Revolution, and all that stuff. So it's not that mind-blowing to me that Skyrim Enhanced Edition is on it, besides the fact that it's on a Nintendo console. Don't get me wrong, Nintendo Switch is really cool, and I want it to do very good, but right now I'm being cautiously hyped. Cautiously. I'm excited, I'm eager to know, but I am not going to buy it yet. I need to see more on what games are going to be on it, besides Breath of the Wild, which in itself is a system seller, but I still have this crappy thing, so I could just get on here. But then is the Switch version going to be a lot better? So it's tough, because if I do in fact get it for this, and if I trade this in for the Switch, then I won't be able to play my Wii games and Wii U games. So even if you can trade this thing in to get $100 off the NX, then I won't be able to play my previous games. So that, no way, I can't just abandon my games. No way. So I'm gonna have to buy a Switch. But we'll see. I really did like the Wii U. I really did. It's just failed potential, bad marketing, not a drought of games. Not many good games till way later on. Way too spaced out. Regardless, I am excited for the NX. I don't want it to go the Wii U route. One thing I had noticed about the NX, the Switch trailer, was that there's no kids, only adults. So maybe now they kind of learned that if you impress the adults, you'll most likely impress the kids. It's that simple. That's why when I was a kid, I used to play Halo 2 all the time. I would sneak into my brother's room and try to put the stupid 4-digit code in there because I just wanted to play it. The online features are amazing. Playing with random people, maybe now it's a little different. But if you impress the older audience, you'll definitely probably impress the kids. I mean, look at Call of Duty. Look at Grand Theft Auto. Look at all those hardcore games. And I'm just saying, not every game needs to be rated M. Make it really good for everybody, and everybody will eventually jump in, one way or another. But so far, Nintendo, you've done a good job with the Switch. Oh, I keep calling it NX. I'm so used to calling it that. Learn from your mistakes, Nintendo. Listen to the fans. Listen to your customers, and you will succeed. You're doing great so far with this portability thing. If you do it right and you don't make another handheld console simultaneously with this one, that kind of defeats the purpose of being mobile, doesn't it? Somewhat. I don't know, Nintendo, if you were to launch a Metroid game, I would buy that day one. With that being said, what do you think of the Switch here? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Do you think it's cool? Do you think it's lame? Do you think it will finally bring Nintendo back from the bottom to the top? Or close to it, possibly? If you like what you saw, hit that like button. And if you really love what you saw, smash that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. This is Randomjeanc, signing off.